What's up, Internet? Welcome once again to the Free-to-Play Cast, brought to you by MMOBomb.com, your home for all things free-to-play related. I'm your host, Mike Byrne, a.k.a. magicman, and this is episode 376. We're doing it live on March 5th, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Boy, I just cut the music real quick there, didn't I? Holy hell. I was just like, all of a sudden, no music. Didn't fade it out. Just turned that shit right off. My bad on that one. We've got a lot of free-to-play news. We're doing the show live, as always. Come on over, twitch.tv/MMOBomb. Streaming every Monday, Thursday, and Friday. We do the cast on Friday, and then there's a stream with an occasional Wednesday stream by one of the most energetic people in the world of gaming. Mr. Jason Winter, how are you, sir?
Where we're going, we don't need music.
We don't need music. Just turn it off.
Where would we go that we don't need
We're
music?
professionals. No fades.
Like the school of the deaf, maybe?
Maybe.
That's why we don't need music.
No fades.
Anywhere on the internet so you don't get demonetized?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. I'm very careful with that. I own all my music. Well, the rights to use it, I should say. I don't know. I didn't write it. Troy wrote it. How you doing, Troy?
I'm doing good over here. Just writing Mike's music royalty-free.
Royalty-free. So you have
That's
Sleeping Gods in the background. We opened that after the show last time you were on. Have you played yet?
No, not yet. With the house remodeling we got going on, we haven't had people over yet, but we're probably a couple of weeks out, and we're going to bust that bad boy out on the table and see what we got.
Got lots of bits. And that's what
it does.
Good games are measured by the number of bits, right, Jason? You used to make these things. Well, not these, but games in general, card games. The more bits, the better the game.
That's why I want that Stardew Valley board game.
Yeah, tons of bits.
It's got a lot of bits in that.
Tons of bits.
Oh, I bet there is. I haven't even looked at that. The game itself just hasn't been my cup of tea, so I haven't even looked at the board game.
Jason is all about looking at that board game. Jason is going to get that board game's poster and put it on his wall. Let's start with the news.
I'm going to put the board on my wall.
Just open the game and nail the board to your wall.
You know, when I was really young, like 4 or 5 years, like really like 5, 6 years old, I remember having a game where like it was called Go Climb a Mountain or something, or What a Mountain, I think it was called. It had a vertical part where you had these little guys you hooked up to, little mountain climbers to go up there. So it was actually a vertical game, which I remember.
That sounds like the home version of the yodeling guy on Price is Right. Just walking up the mountain. Yeah, is this it? Hold on. Is this it?
Oh, What a Mountain, I believe it was. I found it on I think I found it on Board Game Geek.
There you go. I put that link in chat for everybody. See if that's what you're talking about.
Yep, that's it.
Definitely put that on your wall.
It'd be the rocks that would fall down. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Reliving Jason's board gaming past.
Holy 1960 board game cover, Jesus.
Hell yeah.
See, and if you're watching on YouTube, you didn't get the link.
Yeah.
You should come over, watch it live, twitch.tv. All right, so let's speculate on a few things in the free-to-play world that happened this week that could lead to other things happening. So first off, I'm almost hitting like Stream Deck here, but Stream Deck is set for Streamlabs, not XSplit here. Couple companies got bought up this week. And no, we're not going to talk about Epic and Apple in the EU. It's the same thing that they're doing in the United States. The United States lawsuits will start, that trial starts in early May. We'll keep you posted on that. And of course, we'll watch the EU one, but we would just take the US article and do a control replace, Jason. Replace US with EU. Repost. But a couple companies did get scooped up. One of them by Epic Games. And this is Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout developer Mediatonic. Their parent group, Tonic Games, is joining forces with Epic. And so first off, let's talk about that for a second. We don't know the details of the amount that was exchanged or anything here, but no video game company joins forces. These aren't pickup, softball teams where two pharmacies have joined forces to create one mega 50-year-old softball team. These are game companies that do everything for the money. Epic bought them, right, Jason?
Hey, maybe Mediatonic bought Epic.
I find that highly unlikely.
Get out. Just get out now.
Not to diminish
yeah.
the success of Fall Guys to any degree,
Which is a huge game.
but I don't
Fall
think it
Guys
has
bigger
been
than
successful
Fall
enough to
Guys?
purchase Epic.
No. Yeah. They did.
Yeah, I just think it's weird that they're just they don't want to announce a merger, a buyout, a takeover. Like we joined forces.
It's like when I was.
Yeah, it sounds like what you would say if the Emperor and Darth Vader took over your business. Like publicly, you would be forced to say you joined forces.
It's like all the stuff I've been covering. Like there's a lot I tweeted out on this last week about Daybreak, about how they don't list themselves as a publisher of a lot of games, including that
Right.
new Aliens game. It's because it's like Epic kind of knows that it's kind of a bad. Like they know it'll feel bad for people if Fallout is now owned by Epic Games. So like, no, we don't own them. We've just
Right.
joined forces.
Then like I spent like 15, 20 minutes, I told you this, looking for who was going to publish that Aliens game to see if it was going to be somebody else. And you could not find any word. The word publisher was nowhere to be found on any of the news stuff. And I was like, well, it's Daybreak. That's why. Anyway, back to this one. Why are we talking about this on free to play? Well, Epic picked it up, so that generally, they're picking up a lot of free-to-play stuff. But more importantly, there was an FAQ posted on the Mediatonic site where they were saying the usual things that you expect, right? We still have our own creativity, Troy. We're allowed to do what we want. We're still going to be super close to the community, all of that stuff. But there was one question on there that just said, free-to-play, ? Now, keep in mind, this was an FAQ built by the devs, not submitted questions that they answered. They built it. So they put the idea out there, free to play, ? And the answer that they posted to their own generated question was nothing to announce right now, which I think has a fair amount of qualifiers in it in its own right. So Fall Guys free to play incoming? I mean, sometime this year, early next year. Jason speculates in the piece that it wouldn't be anytime soon with console launches coming up, and I tend to agree there. But will we see it free to play?
I think eventually, yes. I think it's a game that has enough word of mouth at least. And it's, it's big enough now that it's going to draw people to their platform, and it's going to draw even more as a free to play game. So yeah, they've got to make, they're switching to the Epic Store, obviously. There's going to be, whether you like to admit it or not, they will be introduced to some new people just on the Epic Store alone. Some of those Fortnite kids don't play much else. So, get those initial buys in there. Then you've got the consoles and stuff coming. Grab that money. Then, yeah, this is probably going to be free to play to get people over to the Epic Game Store.
Jason, does that mean it's going to drop from Steam at some time soon? Like, we didn't see anything about it becoming Epic exclusive yet, like we did with, Psyonix is being purchased and Rocket League all of a sudden being Epic Game removed from Steam. Does it get removed from Steam eventually?
I think it's likely if it does go free to play. I would imagine that would happen, which would make me sad. Of course, means I might just go ahead and download it on a PlayStation and play it there because I don't like Epic Game Store anymore. But yeah, I think they would do that probably at some point.
Now, in your predictions, we talked about Among Us going free to play this year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should have put Fall Guys on there.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I still think out of the two of us, Among Us is far more likely to go free to play this year than Fall Guys is.
Yeah, probably in the short term, I guess so.
In other acquisition news, Zynga purchased Extra Games. And I always forget that that's the name of that company, by the way.
Yeah, and I was like, who?
I always have to go, the Torchlight team, right? Yeah, okay, Torchlight team.
Yeah.
Torchlight team.
It is something I always manage to spell right in a press release or an article, but I always think I spelled it wrong.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So Torchlight 3 developer Extra Games was acquired away from Perfect World Entertainment and moved over to Zynga. Now, Zynga, to what they're looking to get out of this deal, because on the surface, I was kind of like, really? Unless they're working on something for them, the stable of extra games with Torchlight 1 and 2 and we're going to launch free to play, oh no we're not, and we're going to be an MMO, oh no we're not, Torchlight 3, those really don't fit in the Zynga stable of games. But Zynga said, Troy, what they're looking for more is the underlying architecture that Ectra makes when it comes to cross-platform gaming.
Which makes a lot of sense for them because they do a lot of mobile gaming, and be able to translate those more smoothly to PC, console, things like that is more money for them. So if that's what they really want, that's going to be good for the company as a whole. But they did pick up a fairly well-known game IP in Torchlight. Now, in my opinion, Perfect World is everything that's wrong with Torchlight 3, but the name itself could still be revamped very easily with a number 4 that's done the right way. But of course, it's probably going to be a mobile game if they do it now. So
yeah, I was just going to say, like, if you're looking for a revamp, Zynga probably isn't the company you wanted to buy or buy your company, Jason.
You all have phones, right?
You all have phones.
And I think at some point Torchlight 3 goes free to play. Like that thing is just languishing on the internet right now. And yeah, it's available across multiple platforms, so we don't get a total number. But at the time of the article, Jason, you were looking at 200 active players on Steam.
Yeah, that's not enough for a game following up a game as successful as Torchlight 2, especially.
Yeah.
Well, when you can't make up your mind what you want to be, that's what happens.
Yeah, it's got strong Atlas Reactor vibes, which
definitely
games that are not doing well. Ooh.
Definitely has strong Atlas Reactor vibes. Yeah, Atlas Rogues, Troy, not doing well at all. Just not doing well at all.
I enjoy the game. Leave me alone.
you and like 10 other people. Literally, I'm not making that up.
Yeah, it is literally like you and 10 other people.
I can't help it.
All right, last piece of, or a couple more pieces here just to speculate on kind of fun stuff. I got a battle royale for you, Jason. I think even you can get behind this battle royale. Maybe. It's currently in alpha on Steam, probably going to release in Q3 of this year, but Dark's Dev working on Retail Royale. And if you've ever just wanted to, yeah, I probably wouldn't even go after players in here. I'd just demolish everything. Take a battle royale, put it in an IKEA-inspired retail environment where everything can be used as a weapon, and have a field day. Now, yeah, looks a little rough. Again, alpha footage, what you're seeing here. So hopefully, things will be cleaned up a little bit. Smaller indie dev, so, we got that going for it too. Who knows if it'll be any good when it's actually playable to the masses, but I don't know. I could probably see me trying this one out. Like, this is a battle royale that if I saw it, I would take the time to download it and at least give it a whirl. Probably wouldn't stick with it because it's battle royale, but I kind of like the idea of putting this in a everyday location, Troy.
The idea is awesome, right? You always joke about getting lost in the maze that is an IKEA. Of course, the store in this one's called Idea. But they've lost me immediately. And I'm not talking about the obvious alpha state of the game. I'm talking about it's not going to look much better than this going forward. The combat is boring. The moment they step on top of the walls they're all running around on top of the walls.
You are blasting an alpha build.
When you step on top of the wall, you completely kill the whole idea of running around in the maze that is an IKEA, and you can see everything up there. What is the point of it being an IKEA if you can just jump on the wall and see freaking everything? It's trash. It's going to continue to be trash.
Damn. That's harsh.
Wow.
Clearly, this is not a playable build. I mean, some of the characters don't even have animations, or, walking cycles in some of these.
No, I'm not talking about any of that. I'm just talking about just watch the way it plays.
I will go with you that I would be a little disappointed if you actually could get up on top of these walls like they're showing.
Well,
in the build
they've
here.
got this video here,
right,
but
they might
literally
just
had
be
boxes and stuff set up to get on top of the walls.
Right, but they might just be doing that to try and give you an aerial view of everything.
Until they start fighting people on top of the walls, you mean?
Again, they're
shooting people from the
devs
top of the wall.
screwing around
For the concept, you're being way too generous.
Done.
I want to give a little bit of hope on this one, Jason, and just say that I think the alpha video that they released is more conceptual than example build. Is that
I'll give it a little bit of hope too, with the hope that they just don't know what they're doing when they're showing off the game, and that it actually will produce something decent in the end.
I love the concept though.
Yeah.
Because I have.
The concept is a fantastic idea. The execution at what we've seen so far is horrendous. Like it kills the entire point.
So harsh.
And the other thing is too that again, watching the video, it's like, hey, you can use all sorts of different stuff in here. We'll just show this guy shooting a bow. All the time.
Just shooting a bow. I mean, at least they're throwing some crates around and stuff, but they're like not effective whatsoever.
I don't know.
Also, you gotta have like the inflatable shark or the stuffed shark as a weapon. If you're gonna model it yourself after IKEA.
See there, look, they just threw one of the barrels that was there, and it is rough.
What is this?
It is rough.
Throwing a barrel?
I will concede that point. It is a rough alpha video. I would have liked to have seen something a little more polished, just as far as, hey, let's show you the concept.
Bored within 20 seconds of the start of this video.
Yeah, the video's not great. I will concede that.
Done with it.
But
the only reason I kept watching it is so I knew that we could talk about it.
You're mean. It's an alpha build.
I'm truthful.
Not going to be released until later this year. Targeting Q3, but no date in there. 12 players against each other in an IKEA-style maze that offers the ability to use anything they can get their hands on as weapons. We'll have to see if that comes through. The game includes a map with distinct store sections, voice chat, match events, multiple modes, the obligatory cosmetics, and meatballs. Because, yeah, IKEA.
Meatballs.
We'll keep
so
our
they should go and try to make it a different kind of national. Like IKEA has a Swedish thing. They should try to make it some sort of different nationality. Like make it an Italian place, and so you're throwing sausages or something. I don't know.
Just make it German. Just handfuls of sauerkraut flying everywhere.
There you go. And beer.
I like the concept. I don't know if I'm going to like the execution. We'll see. Roblox. Perhaps you've heard of this. They have quite a few players that, make some things and do some things in there. But apparently, turns out, hey, guys, Roblox, 44% of the daily users were over the age of 13 in 2020. And the 17 to 24 age group grew faster than the under 13 in the past year. So showing a little signs of, I don't know if that's signs of actually getting an older audience, Jason, or if that's more signs of your audience is aging.
Yeah.
You started with all these, under 13-year-olds, and now they're teens. But the team behind Roblox and CEO Dave Baszucki,
Bazzucki, that's how they pronounce it in the video.
Okay, apologies.
Kind of like bazooka, but
almost. Kind of wants to take Roblox in a little bit of a different direction to entice an older demographic to play it. The people in their 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s. Jason, what's the plan here? And is this a road worth embarking on for a title like Roblox at this point?
You know what I'm imagining? I'm imagining that Winnie the Pooh meme where it shows him just sitting there, and I'm thinking the little one is like Roblox is for kids. And the one with him all dressed up with the monocle and top hat is Roblox is for adults.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very good. But yeah, this is definitely a step they want to take, and in part because they're going public in like 5 days. And of course, when you're going public, you got to build yourself up even more to please the stockholders, shareholders. So they have to find new ways to get into a bigger market, to get into a different audience. They basically got kids, like half the kids in the world are playing Roblox at some point or something like that. They put out some number. It wasn't that big, but they have a lot of kids. So they're trying to expand into a larger demographic, namely that adult demographic. And they've talked about some of the things that people have been doing over the last year, especially with the pandemic on. Like they talked about having concerts and branded promotions going on, how they themselves did their own holiday party in Roblox because, of course, they couldn't meet together for real. So I get the notion, and I understand why they're doing it now especially. I speculate, though, on whether this is going to be something that, whether you're going to actually have like board meetings inside Roblox. Like there's one thing to have that one thing with the lawyer a few weeks ago, had like the cat filter or whatever. But to actually have, hi, I'm your CEO, Deathlord69XX, whatever, running around talking about your financial figures in the last quarter. I don't see that happening exactly.
Troy,
I think they
it's kind
make it a little bit.
It's kind of a dangerous line, though, where they want to get into. At least I think it is, because CBO Craig Donato followed that portion of the discussion up by saying that there's different ways they want to monetize too, like having select brands participate in our economy and engage with users in ways that enhance the user experience, because that's a sentence that always ends up well for players. Having branded worlds on the platform compared to like branded pages on Facebook with fully interactive experiences. And we see stuff like this with, and as Jason points out in the article, with like concerts in Fortnite and, you know, the short film stuff that they did. And they do those little types of events, but I don't know if I'm telling you right now, I just turned 40 a month ago. There is nothing about walking into the Roblox Mountain Dew world that excites me enough to want to download this, Troy. Those are not sentences that engage me as a consumer.
What they described, the way they were saying, because they said branded a couple of times, right? Like the branded events, the branded worlds. It sounded like Ready Player One if IOI wins. It's exactly what it sounds like. They just want to create a world where they can just advertise in your face. This is Coca-Cola world. This is Mountain Dew world. This is Doritos world. That's exactly what it sounded like to me. The moment I read that, I was like, oh God, like we already have a book that warns us about this. So unfortunately, this is the reality. If a world like that ever was to actually exist, that's exactly how it would be, branded to all get out.
Yeah, what's funny, Troy, and Old Glory does bring it up. I haven't, because we're going to talk about it later. There might already be a Roblox-esque thing that, honestly, I think probably appeals to the 20, 30, 40 demographic that they want to pick up here in a way better than I think Roblox would. Will the new one catch traction? I don't know. That still has yet to be seen, right? Roblox is huge. Can't take away that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'll definitely watch what they do, but there is nothing about Roblox that has pulled me in ever. My kids, yeah, they were into it. They're not anymore. But maybe that's speaking more to what they should focus on. My kids, when they were preteens, loved Roblox. Early teens loved Roblox. Late teens don't play it anymore. So, like, even their audience seems to grow out of the game, too, which is dangerous as far as retention goes.
What I also think, too, is I remember last week we were talking about the MiHoYo CEO wanted to have 1 billion people playing in their virtual world, living in their virtual worlds or whatever. And that's kind of what Roblox is trying to do here, apparently. Yeah. And they've got a much bigger head start. They could maybe get to 1 billion as opposed to, Genshin Impact.
We'll say. Welcome to a little segment, gentlemen, that I like to call Going, Going, Gone, and one that rises from the dead. Nyeka. I'm sorry. Nyeka. It has the little thing above the I. I always forget about that. Nyeka is how it's pronounced. We've mentioned this on the show once before. A free-to-play 2D MMORPG just had finished development or was finishing development when we covered it. I actually downloaded it to do a first look. 10 minutes in, I was like, this is going to be a dumb first look. We're going to wait a little bit and let them finish some things. Not because the game quality or anything. We couldn't get the quests to work. Jason and I were talking about it in the background, and it's like, there are 50 people here trying to pick up this apple, and nobody can pick it up. Like, so we
you say so, I completely forgot about it.
I told you about you and Q in chat about that. I was like, yeah, I cannot finish the starting quest. Literally, one of the tutorial quests had you port out into the world. I'm watching everybody port into the screen, pick up the quest, walk to the portal, and disappear. I can't get the portal to work on my side. Like, everybody's just walking straight into it, gone. I'm standing on it, jumping on it.
I almost thought you were going to say, like, they walk into the portal and vanish and never come back. They're just gone.
So
they go into the void.
We held on the first look, and we're going to wait. But now we're not even going to do a first look because they're not even going to do a game, Troy. They're done. They're done.
I've never even heard of this.
From Zad Otak developers.
If I had, I probably would have checked it out, but never even heard
on Discord. They said the game failed for multiple reasons, and the project is not sustainable for the company in its current form. Nayaka will still be playable, but no additional content or development work will be done. In addition, the developer will be pared down to just 2 employees who will be actively working on a new project related to Nayaka, which will be available later on. Oh, and by the way, if you spent money on this at all, they're keeping that money.
Of course they are.
What a bad look.
Oh my goodness.
Your money is going to go towards
be
a
sure
different...
to give us some money the next time.
Go towards a different endeavor, Jason, that 2 employees are working on.
Well, you know who's really to blame for this, though, is their publisher, clearly the big boss, not the poor developers themselves, because they're blameless. Right.
Totally blameless.
Yeah.
Troy, I hope you didn't fund this one, because this is not the project, you know. Pray they don't alter the deal further.
My money is safe.
So, yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say on that one besides...
It's been frozen in carbonite.
Like, I think they get to keep the money because it would cost more in transaction fees to refund it at this point than the amount of...
We made $337. It'll cost us $350 to send it back.
Like, I want to know what the expectations were that all of a sudden this is just unsustainable.
They still can't pick up that apple. That's probably it.
Yeah. Like, I started Ready Check Radio, and I was like, you know what? I am committed to just this being a drain on my income for at least 2 to 3 years before it's even remotely in a position to maybe be able to pay for itself. What were their ambitions, Jason, where they were like, well, guys, we didn't hit 250,000 concurrent players. Close the doors. Close the doors.
I seriously wonder if they just looked at it and they said, well, people still can't pick up apples. They can't go through the portal. We can't fix it, so... We're going to start over on something else.
Only not
that's what
1 out of every 10 people is able to escape the tutorial.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be that.
We've been talking about this one for years as far as another dead one. Valve going the way of Anthem with their card game Artifact. It's dead, but you can still play it. Like, it's basically, you know, you're doing CPR, Jason.
CPR, more than we're just beating the dead horse.
That
really.
true. That too.
Yeah. They were working on Artifact 2.0. They're working on that.
Or as we call it here,
now.
Artifact Next.
That's the problem, because any game with a next in it never works. But yeah, then they decided, well, we just can't make that work either. So they're completely shutting down all development on it. But you can still play both the basic Artifact that it launched as and what they did on 2.0, which are now called Artifact Classic and Artifact Foundry. And you play both of them for free. All the cards are free. You can just get more cards by playing. So
now
jump right in, play it, and just whatever.
I've never played Artifact at all. Have either of you?
No.
I had no interest when it decided it was going to be buy to play.
It's the game that nobody wanted.
Yeah,
Yeah, remember the initial announcement, that trailer they showed at their convention? Oh my God.
Yep.
It was late to an already overflowing genre of failures in the same vein, trying to cash in on what the money Hearthstone was making. They were too late. Nobody wanted this from Valve. Everybody wanted something else from Valve, obviously. And now we've got 2 versions of it in maintenance mode. What a freaking train wreck.
It should be noted, we have Artifact 1 and we have Artifact 2, but we'll never have an Artifact 3.
You're right. You're right.
It's right on target with that.
That is branded. That is just successful branding right there. They should have called it Artifact Reborn, and it would have been a mega hit. Instead, they called it Artifact Next, and now it's maintenance mode. I mean, there's something to be said for a card game in maintenance mode in general, because there are a group of players that, you know, would like the meta not to be changing. Like, the meta is the meta and it will always be the meta from now on. But that's not me, and that's not a lot of us.
The numbers have it's actually like gone up around 1,000 players since they did the free-to-play announcement. So it's
I think that's probably, though, people like
before.
us that definitely would have tried it at the beginning,
Yeah.
had it been free to play, but totally avoided it. And now that it's free, why not check it out? But I would expect
like you
those
said, they'll
numbers to
just
just collapse again.
Yeah, they'll get bored with it when nothing changes. So it'll go down. But being over 1,000, it last hit 1,000 in February 2019. So Good for them. Yay.
Now this one's going. That was gone, but for a weird reason. So Troy, by the way, you streamed yesterday. You were jumping into Smite. It's a favorite of yours on the list, but you haven't played in a while. How'd it go?
Had a good time. Had the typical, what are they called? Whatever the development call themselves now is high res. That's just
Titan Forge Games.
Titan Forge. Thank you. Why? Where so the first couple of games we had a bunch of people disconnecting, blah blah blah. Then we got to some stable games and we had a good time. It was a lot of fun playing Arena.
Did you do well? I was not able to watch. Usually I come in and poke the bear in chat, but I was not able to watch yesterday.
Yeah, on like the characters that I've played more than any other, I was doing fairly well. And then I was trying to play some higher skill ceiling characters that I used to be good at. And I realized that my muscle memory isn't where it used to be. I tried to play Hercules because if you play a Hercules well, you're just a god and cannot be touched. I was being touched.
Yeah, it's Smite.
I was being touched a lot on Hercules.
So,
and of course, if you're gonna play Hercules, you need muscle memory.
So
that's right.
Some of those gods now are just relegated to somebody that you used to know.
That's right. That's right. Why are we doing this?
Anyway, ISIS is getting her name changed was the whole point of bringing Smite up.
Not to make fun of Troy's skill.
ISIS getting her name changed to ESET so that you content creators stop getting beat up by algorithms for having the word ISIS in your titles or descriptions. Seeing as that is a terrorist organization that a lot of current algorithms might be looking for to filter content.
Because as advanced as they say these algorithms are, as we all know, they're actually not. They have no idea what they're doing. And all they see is the letters together. Oh, terrorist organization. It has no contextual ability whatsoever, just like it doesn't when it will demonetize musicians on YouTube for playing their own freaking music. Their algorithms don't have a clue what they're doing. That being said, good on the company here for making that change to try to help the folks out, because there are other officially recognized names that this god is known by. So we're just going to go with another one now and get rid of the troubles.
Yeah, we're going with her Egyptian alternate spelling on this one. So lore-wise, we're still, and historically, we're still talking about the same person.
Yeah, the exact same person.
Just going with a different spelling on the name. Yeah.
Why did they ruin everything?
Look at this alpha gameplay of the IKEA Battle Royale.
Speaking of things that are ruined.
Why don't you guys aren't interested in it? I don't get it.
Oh, look, boxes.
All
When
right,
I go to IKEA, all I care about is boxes.
Here's the
and barrels.
one that rises from the dead. Initial reports coming out of Korea, mostly translated for me personally via MMO culture. So shout out to Cinder Boy over there. Had the Unreal Engine 4 version of Blade and Soul basically being canceled with the news that the Frontier server, which was the Unreal server, or the Unreal 4 server, was being shut down. So that looked like the end of the Unreal 4 version of Blade and Soul, Frontier World, being closed down. However, they NCSoft did tease a new beginning in June of this year. And the following day, I had to update the piece because apparently the Unreal 4 version is not dead in the water. In fact, it is very much alive. It is what will be launching in June of next year. And that the reason they closed the Frontier World server, as this video is showing, is that the Frontier World server was not an accurate representation of where they were on the Unreal 4 stuff anymore. That was their first stab at it, so to speak. And so they took that down, and now Korea will be getting the Unreal 4 version later this year, tentatively scheduled for June, with new dungeons, 4-person dungeons, some difficulty stuff, so there's enhancements to the game. We're seeing the graphic overhaul here going to the Unreal 4 engine. I know, Troy, that you've dabbled in this game, and the motion blur is usually a problem for you with some of the motion and the vertigo. Jason, you and I have been talking about Blade and Soul for, I don't know, 7 years now. Does this help? Will this revitalize the game a bit? Because it is on a little bit of a downward trend if you look at the financials. Not doing, WildStar numbers by any stretch of the imagination, but on a downward trend. Ion back on the upswing with its classic server. So could this help? And will we ever see it actually come west, Jason?
Nah, I don't think it's going to make up a huge deal. I mean, it's a little shinier, but I mean, if you stop playing, you probably stop playing because you didn't like the game more so than the graphics being, because it doesn't look horrible in the original version.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think this is going to have some huge impact on it.
These comparisons that you're seeing are not Blade and Soul today versus Unreal 4. These are the Frontier World version on the left and the new version on Unreal 4 on the right. So these are both Unreal 4, just early attempts, current attempts is what you're seeing. And obviously, the huge improvement, Troy. I will say that one of the big reasons that I don't play Blade and Soul is because of the performance of the game. Not because of its visuals, not because of its monetization, which, yes, there are items in there that I disagree with and I would not buy or purchase in any way, shape, or form, but it's horribly optimized. It's horribly optimized as far as the way things load in and the lag and the rubber banding and stuff like that. I hope some of that gets better with switching to Unreal 4, but if they haven't focused on other things besides just the visuals, like maybe making the damn thing less files. I'm okay with the files being a little bigger, guys. We can make them a little bigger. Just why are there thousands of files in this game? If they can increase the performance, I will definitely check it out. 4-person dungeons, that is, boom, Mike Byrne written right all over it. I will give it a whirl. And I love the look of it. Will I ever get my hands on it in the West? I don't know. Because it'll have to do well in Korea for an extended period of time, Troy, before they even bring it here.
Yeah, that's the key is how's it going to do over there? Because like you said, if it's not successful over there, we're definitely never going to see it. And if it's only, as Jason said, mildly successful over there, I think we still don't ever see it over here because they won't deem it worthy. I would be interested in jumping in and checking it out. Because like you said, it's hard to tell if optimization has been improved, but just looking between, their first go at Unreal 4 and their latest go at Unreal 4, you can already see cleaner textures, better reflective qualities, better water quality.
Just the color palette is a richer, huge difference.
Yeah, the colors are much richer. So they've made a vast improvement as far as visuals, but like you said, optimization. Where is that at? How's it going to run on Joe Blow's good enough to play a game PC versus your pre-rendered stuff that you're showing us here?
I'm hopeful for it. I've always liked the aesthetic of Blade and Soul and the combat in Blade and Soul and that, but I don't like a lot of the random stuff that they do for the cash shop to encourage, spending to guarantee certain drops or certain enhancements, that type of thing. But that stuff's pretty egregious, and I bet it gets worse at late game. But I've never made it to late game, Jason, because the performance of the game has just been hell. There have been times I can't even get it to load. Like it just keeps kicking itself out, and I'll start it 3 times before I actually get to log in. So, but it looks good. It's looking good.
Looks better than that alpha game.
It's not dead, gang. It is not dead. No. Let's do a little comparison. I mean, it looks like the same game to me.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Corporate wants to tell you the difference between these. They're the same picture.
the ambient lighting quality is on par.
That is a lot of white. Now that I think about it, that is,
it is
an awful lot of white.
IKEA doesn't have that much white.
All right.
Could do a little more colors came out.
Last thing before we head on over to the weekly bombs, I posted the first look video for boy, that's weird where that started.
Skip ahead to the game, but I don't want to see your face twice.
Wait a minute, what's going on here? What is
Jeez,
going
man.
on? Let me kick this. No, that's not gonna work. All right.
Oh.
Let me do this. Hold on. We got it.
This game is actually Mike Burns
Yeah,
Simulator.
this is Mike Burns Simulator.
There you go.
There we go.
You press the keys and make his hands move. There you go. I
Let's
told you I was like I was ventriloquizing him, and there you go. We'll just skip to the end then. Never mind. That was it. That was the whole first look. Thank you for watching.
that was the whole
Bye.
first look. All right, there we go. Let's talk about Core. Excuse me. First look video is up on YouTube and on mmobomb.com. And we kind of go back to our Roblox discussion a little bit here, because that's what Roblox is known for, right? A bunch of people building their own little games and then everybody playing all of everybody else's games. Well, Core is a new platform by Manticore, currently in alpha/early access. You can download it straight from their site. It will become available via the Epic Game Store in, I believe it's April, so about a month from now, in an early access build there as well. It is monetized, so you can go in and buy in-game currency. But we've kind of got a very similar to Roblox. In the first look video, I mentioned the epic quest for Mighty Loot, if you remember that game where everybody built their own castles and you can go challenge everybody else's castles. Except this is a little more expansive than that. Think in the vein of a Roblox, using Unreal, though. And prepackaged stuff that you can create your own games, and you can go in and play your own games, Troy, ranging from, you saw mini golf on the screen, all the way to full-blown MMORPGs with quests and gathering and crafting, and even a monthly sub if you want. If you're good at creating things, or you want to create things, you can even monetize those for yourself, earning credits to spend on other games, or earning credits that you can cash out at a 50-50 split with Manticore via everybody purchasing things in your personal store's cash shop. So you kind of got two layers of a cash shop here. You buy credits at the top layer, and then you can spend them on Founders Packs or cosmetics for your world avatar, and Manticore gets that money. Or you could spend the credits in individual games on the perks that Jason might build, whether they be cosmetic or limited time buffs or full subscriptions, stuff like that. And I can keep all those credits, or I could extract them for real world money and split it with Manticore 50-50. So a lot of creativity. Check out the first look. We run the gamut of like 6 or 7 of some of my favorite games while I was messing around in there. I was going to stream this today, but I think I have to stream Rocket League now because Windshark has paid and gets to decorate my car for the next 2 weeks, so probably going to stream Rocket League. But definitely worth checking out. There are some duds here. Obviously, there's going to be. But then there are some really good ones. Like Jason, the mini golf was a lot of fun. And it's very golf with friends. You know, everybody's racing to get there. The putt sunk as fast as possible and as few shots as possible and move on to the next hole. I honestly think this would be more my cup of tea than Roblox, and they both serve basically the same or similar functions, Troy. Now, will this take off a little bit? I think going to the Epic Game Store will give it a little bit of traction, at least initially. And it's pretty damn robust since you're basically using Unreal.
How much is the monetization tied into what you can do? Like
nothing.
Nothing.
Okay. The monetization only enters if you want to buy cosmetics from Manticore for your world avatar. That's who you use in the main home world before you join different games. And when you join a game, they're your character in it if it's like a third-person game. So you could buy cosmetics or different characters for that. Or in Jason's game, you would have access to whatever cosmetics Jason decided to make for his specific game or buffs for his specific game. So as far as you going to create things, there's no monetary limit on that.
Okay. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I thought it looked kind of cool. Like again, like you said, like a more polished modern day Roblox.
Yeah, it definitely, like it has a, I mean, what it is Roblox, right? And I avoided saying Roblox in the first look, right? I compared it to Epic Quest. I said we've seen things like this before, you know, alluded to Roblox, because I don't really like to, I'm doing a first look for your game. I really don't want to name your number one competitor in the video for you, right? Just as a courtesy. But yeah, it's
except as all those games are like, if you liked Roblox, you'll love us.
Right.
Right. Marketing.
Honestly,
From the makers of WoW.
Yeah, it ran really smooth for an alpha, by the way. Really smooth. Every game loaded within like 15 to 20 seconds and was just gone. I only had one error. It actually happens in the first look, where one of the full-blown MMORPGs that a creator made, the hotbar didn't load. Like the label for it did, or the background for it did, but the hotbar itself didn't load. Oh well. That was the only error I had. And Manticore actually makes games on here too. They have, like, Farmer's Market is the one I showed in the first look video. It's very, Harvest Moon / Animal Crossing, gather, plant your crops, go fishing, metal detector stuff. Definitely something there. If you've wanted to create a game and maybe you're tight on money, experience, stuff like that, there are a ton of, like, you could just go in here, Troy, and say, I'm going to make a third-person dungeon crawler. And it says, okay, and it craps out a pre-built basic landscape of that type of game with all the assets and some hierarchy programming already done for you that you can then go piecemeal modify if you're not great at this stuff or don't have a lot of experience. And there's also a ton of tutorials. So definitely one that I'm going to be watching just to see what comes out of it, because there really is, you're really only limited by how much time and dedication you want to put into whatever you're creating. And there's some fun stuff there. I mean, the mini golf extracted way too much time from me yesterday when I was experimenting with things in the game. Jason, is this something like, do you like this type of platform? I know Roblox obviously hasn't done it for you. Would this be more likely to?
I mean, I'm kind of thinking I need some sort of like chill late night game to play, just something I can do while I'm watching a stream or something.
Is definitely that.
Yeah, this might be something that I kind of look into for that. And I'll also have to make my own RPG, with Vikings in it, so you'll be able to play, right?
Oh, God. Troy, what about you? Because Jason's dead on. It is, and I said this in the first look, it is an absolute wonderful thing to, you know what, I'm just going to put on some, Netflix for the next hour and play some puzzle games or go do a little racing game or mini golf or whatever. I think it's great for that. Just in the same way Roblox is. But I think this is a little more robust as far as capturing that older audience.
I'd be willing to check it out. I'm definitely probably going to check it out and just find a little, time killer game or something like that to occupy me in between, bigger games when I just want to just chill for a minute, like Jason said.
I got to give this one a thumbs up. Yeah, I mean, if we're doing the whole thumbs up, thumbs down thing, I'm going to give this one a thumbs up. Why does this, I swear to God, I actually set this video to start at a specific time that was gameplay footage, and it refuses to do it.
Those are some good graphics. They look realistic. That almost like actually you.
Yeah, here we go. See, that's a puzzle game that's in there. Pretty standard one, right? It's, cell phone. But, yeah. I'm going to give this one a thumbs up. I absolutely loved it. It's still installed. It's going to stay installed. And that's even despite not streaming it today, which was my original plan. It's still going to stay installed. I just want to see what people come up with. Maybe I'll get into it. I'm actually doing some stuff on Tabletop Simulator as far as the programming side right now, so this will probably have to wait for me, but I definitely will jump in. Up from me. What about you, Jason?
Give it a thumbs up.
Troy?
I'll give it a thumbs up.
Way to go, Manticore. 3 thumbs up. It has been a long time since
it's hard for this group.
Since we have done a first look review where it was 3 thumbs up. Let's slide over to the weekly bombs.
Well, we had to counter the thumbs down from that other album.
Right, now I'm allowed to cash that check for Manticore, right? Because you can't like anything in this business without having been bought.
I get my cut.
Mm-hmm.
Manticore did not send me a check. Stop it. If they did, I'd cash it. I don't know. What do you want from me? I'll go first. I'm going to give an A-bomb. I've been positive for a few weeks in a row here. It's time for an A-bomb. I am sick of Vikings fucking being everywhere right now. Everywhere. Now, it was never like really a historical favorite of mine anyway, like the whole Vikings and the seafaring and all that stuff. But whatever. Fine. It's the Vikings. But they are freaking everywhere. I haven't played Valheim. I haven't. Can't. Just not right now. Not right now. They're in every... Oh my God, Jason, even Conqueror's Blade is getting Vikings right now. Right now.
Like in 2 weeks.
They couldn't wait. Assassin's Creed got you Vikings. You know, if you like Vikings, you're in your damn glory right now. A-bomb.
Dude.
And the Minnesota Vikings are the worst.
Hey now. They've been around. But seriously, though, I noticed this like 10 years ago. Like when I was playing Skyrim with Nords and I was playing Mountain Blade, they had Nords in there. And then I went to Guild Wars 2 and played a Norn. Like I noticed Vikings were starting to make their... They were like pirates for in the last decade, remember? So Pirates of the Caribbean came out. Everything had pirates in it then. So the last decade it was pirates. This decade it's Vikings.
Let's just stop.
2020s, what's it going to be?
Let's just stop. I'm done with the Vikings. Let's move on. We need more vampires. More vampires. Less Vikings.
God, no. Those were the 90s. Vampires were the 90s. Yeah.
Jason, Bloodlines 2. Ooh, cry. Go watch.
Well, yeah, I know.
Go watch Gaming Gumbo for our thoughts on that one.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead, Troy.
A-bomb to Mike Byrne for not liking Vikings. Vampires have had their turn. Zombies have been everywhere for what feels like 2 decades.
Yeah.
Pirates have been everywhere for what feels like the entirety of my life. It's about damn time Vikings got their turn. The mythology is phenomenal. They're big, strong, burly men and women who go out and handle their business. Vikings are da-bomb, A-bomb to Magic Man.
Mr. Winter.
I'm gonna, a couple weeks ago on Gaming Gum, I'm crossing the stream store. I gave my game of the week to Crusader Kings 2.
Yes, you did.
Put a subscription thing where you pay $5 a month, get access to all the DLC, and the community hates it. Overwhelmingly hate it because they're all convinced this is going to be the new model for Crusader Kings for Paradox's games. It's going to be, you're not going to buy expansions anymore. It's going to be all subscription based, just like they compared it to like the Adobe Creative Suite stuff. They said that's what they're going to do. That's what they're testing the waters now. Slippery slope, blah blah. And I'm like, dude, guys, just piss off. Just piss off.
Bunch of
A-bomb and all the CK2 whiners out there.
Bunch of angry dudes on today's show. From the viewers in chat, Sto Janowski says, A-bomb for my car breaking. Almost missed the show. I mean, I appreciate you like being upset that you almost missed the show, but probably the car should be. Don't miss the show.
Is that more of like a car bomb?
Guardian Vale, dub-bomb to Zardy's Maze, and the VOD and clips of rules.
That game.
I think I saved like 3 clips from that stream. That was tremendous. Also giving an A-bomb to Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Enough said. Absolutely. Mike, you have trending games included in the RCR Gaming Gumbo screen. Yeah, I do. I'm not giving an A-bomb to trending games. I'm giving an A-bomb for Vikings being in all the trending games. Raggerty says, I like it 11-10. Jason does a low-key Max Headroom impression last week. Yes, you did. Dub-bomb to Magic Man for clarification about the question of the week last week. Yes, I meant accessibility as far as how easy it was to get into the end game. So casual in that sense, yes. But accessibility as in it's easy to get the things needed to get to endgame. The endgame progression was normal 5-man dungeons, then heroic versions, then normal raids, into mythic version of the raids. Then they added looking for raid, which was a face roll raid to allow people to see content with an item level reward that was just below normal raid. Then they added mythic 5. This goes on and on and on and on and on.
Right, Raggerty's got a rant.
Raggerty's got a rant, and it's a totally valid rant. It ends with, I was higher up in the guild, so there wasn't a fear of getting kicked. I was, however, in a min-max guild before I quit. I was dropped from raid from time to time because of numbers, but that was more on the casualty of the game and not you, not your bad. Go leave. So, Raggerty, very upset by the progression of World of Warcraft and the over-casualization. Go ahead, Jason.
Volvo X Arius, I think is new. Welcome to the comment section, Volvo. Says the bomb.
Volvo's commented before.
Has it?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not the ones I've been on. But we need the sign apparently because they say the bomb. Come on, which one is it, man? You gotta know. There you go. Duh bomb. Okay, there we go. Duh bomb to Python with 4 lines of code. You can download any video or playlist from YouTube without using those free downloaders from the internet. There we go.
Little education for everybody.
So duh bomb to Python from Volvo.
They're not wrong. 4 little lines of code. That's all it takes. Troy, go ahead.
Rudy the Ninja. Rift is staying alive. Woo! I don't plan on going back in its current dead state. But I'm happy it's not shutting down. That game did some things no other game has done right at least. It's a real shame when I came back to it just to see it all gutted.
Troy knows exactly that feeling, and it's on stream at MMO Bombs Twitch. C-Swag says, MMO Bomb Discord, ? Yeah, actually, I was just talking to Jason before the show about that. I got to finish that off. I'm trying, C-Swag. And that's C-Swag. I don't know why I put the other Q in there. I know that that's C-Swag. Ninja Pandas in chat says, I'm giving a dub bomb to Amazon for delivering my books. And the trend for this year would probably be viruses, zombies, and Nasagra is dub bomb to Python in general. It's ridiculous how much you can get down to in that language. That is true. Go ahead, Jason.
I'm going to give it an A-bomb to Nasagra, though, because it cost you 100 stinking points to highlight your message. Come on, man. You're in here enough. do it right the next time. But anyway.
Nasagra probably has like 80,000 points, too.
I know. Come on, man.
Wouldn't give up 100 of them.
You shouldn't read their balls if they're not going to at least do it right. Show it off. All right.
It's like, I'm keeping this 100.
In the chat now. So never read the Sagas. I can ban you. Anyway. Dixie, last name Normus, first name Dixie.
Oh, he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it.
Yeah. I got 1,000 V-Bucks for buying loot boxes in Fortnite Save the World, but I don't think I'll qualify for Rocket League. I played that before they had loot boxes. If I recall, I think the 1,000 was just for everybody, period.
Well, everybody, I did not get it because I did not play when they had loot boxes.
Yeah, if you played at the time.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, that's right.
Yeah. Go ahead, Troy.
Yummy Kami, Dub Bombs, Monster Hunter Rise PC release confirmed. Path of Exile finished the main storyline. First half is great. Hey, Bombs, Path of Exile's second half is boring, story-wise, and frustrating gameplay-wise.
I can't agree more.
Outriders demo starts off great until everything goes to World War II cover shooter with superpowers, trench warfare. That is no fun. Way too bullet spongy enemies and looks like shit.
Agree to disagree on that one, but agreed with the first one.
Yeah. In terms of how it looks, I think it looks great, but yeah.
Torakai says, boycott Gamigo. Gamigo and Area killed Ironsight in Europe, but luckily the original devs brought us the game. That on hot on the heels of Gamigo's slaughter of games last week.
No, I was going to say, not that I mean to diminish your pain, but Ironsight is not the game we usually talk about. We talk about Gamigo screwing up games.
Ironsight's doing damn well. Question of the week last week. What do you want in a League of Legends MMORPG? I love this name. I know it's you, Nasagra. I did include that here too. Nasagra's playing with their name. This is now Nasagra shall now be known as Ducky X Mechana. Question of the week. I would prefer a PvE sandbox, but at this point, I really just want a good new MMO. And P.S. This is Nasagra. Just wanted to have some fun with the username. And honestly, that is probably what I want too. It's like I don't want anything. I just want a good MMO, a new MMO.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm not even know League of Legends, but I would probably give it a shot if I thought it looked good.
Yeah, like not to diminish my Final Fantasy 14 or my enjoyment of World of Warcraft. That one relatively newer, but yeah, I could go for a good new MMO. Jason, go ahead.
You can tell it's not Nasagra because the comment's not highlighted. Windshark says, question of the week. I think Rift will stay in maintenance mode for a while until they figure out if they can. What does this have to do with the League of Legends? Okay, whatever.
I think Windshark was just adding this to League of Legends comes a little further down.
Question of the week. You should have. No, whatever. Until they figure out if they can make content that will entice people to come back or new people to try it. So basically, forever is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
As for a League/Riot MMO, I would be interested to see how it plays out. The lore is already established with a lot of factions, races, cosmic beings, etc. Now, what I worry is the execution. That's every MMO that ever came out. Wow, this sounds so neat. It looks so great. Look at the videos. Look at the dev diaries. Oh, it came out. Wow, it sucks.
Go ahead, Troy.
That's like every MMO since the last 15 years. Half the player base has that exact reaction to all of it.
He's not wrong.
No, I'm not.
Misfit Rain, question of the week. I want the LOL MMO RPG to not prove me right. I think this is going to turn out like Torchlight Frontiers, going to turn into a shared world ARPG game with a toxic community from hell. I could be wrong because I cannot find anything on the playstyle of the game if it's first person, third person, or top down. Still rooting for any MMO to try to exist, although I don't want a top down. I would love a really good top down MMO, actually.
I don't think it'll be top down
Nah, I
just
don't think it'll
because
be either.
basically
Yeah, I don't think this one's-
basically
yeah.
it's ARPG-ish. That's what a MOBA's like. So yeah.
But I would love a really good, current, updated top down MMO. That would be awesome.
Yami Kami,
start
question
there.
of the week, WEAK. Yes, I know I wrote week and not week, WEEK. I find it funny. Rift, don't care. Rift MMO, Riot MMO, I do care. I played League of Legends at some point. I got really addicted and opened a total of 30 accounts. Really addicted. Got away from it, but I always wanted to see more of the world they are hinting at. So I'm excited to what's hopeful to come. And even went back to the game after 7 years. Having said that, everything Riot put out aside from League, I did not like. And they're really bad at fixing things. For example, the League of Legends game launcher is worse than it was about 7 years ago. It is still this stupid browser window that you can't increase in size. Smite is doing a way better job on that front. But my biggest problem and why I left League of Legends is that when they changed the map layout and visuals about 7 years or so ago, and they did change the music with it. The old music was perfect. The new one, garbage. As far as I know, there is no option to get the old one back in-game. Honestly, I don't know of anybody that has ever told me they quit playing a game because of a music change. Man, that is dedication to the OG music at that point. Like maybe if a friend of mine wrote the OG music and they replaced it, I could do that.
Maybe 30 accounts and they quit because of the music.
That's damn dedication. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, I usually play with music off, so I don't even remember what the music from the Rift even was.
Nice.
Well, it's been about 7 years since I played, so I definitely don't remember. Anyway, Piene Musta says Riot has the budget to do big MMORPG, but I'm slightly afraid it'll be partly mobile like Genshin. There's going to be some mobile element to it, just because it is
absolutely.
this decade. So, interesting to see what the share is of Genshin's income. Genshin's impact income. Interesting to see what is the share of Genshin's income between PC, console, mobile. Mobile probably dominates the income.
It does. It does.
Yeah, probably.
It does. It's 100% it does. It does. Question of the week this week. What type of game would you create, maybe on a platform like Core, if you had the time and knowledge to be able to do so? So no real limitations here. You don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about knowledge. You don't have to worry about time. Let's say you had all of that stuff that you needed. If you're going to use Core or maybe even Roblox or whatever, maybe you're going to go do it from scratch. What type of game would you create, and would you make it free to play? Let us know in the comments below. While you're there, don't forget to give us your weekly bombs. D-bomb for something good, A-bomb for something bad in the world of gaming in general. There's your screen.
It needs to be updated, though.
It does, but it's...
And, I remember I linked to you yesterday that someone talked about intermittent fasting.
I saw that.
Someone did that in the Twitch chat I was in.
While you're there, head on over to Gamer Power, GamerPower. That's our sister site. Absolutely free for you to sign up. And we'll keep you notified on free stuff in free-to-play games, free stuff in buy-to-play games, and hell, sometimes even just free games. So if you like free stuff, it's an easy site. It's never going to ask you for money. There's no priority or premier membership or VIP status or anything like that. Don't worry about it. It'll keep track of all your savings for you, how much you didn't spend in games. Give it a check out. Get your account created. Until next week, Troy, where can everybody find you, my friend?
Hey, man, right here every Thursday, 2 p.m. for my stream where I play what I want. Twitch.tv/MMOBomb, and check me out on Facebook.com/NoobFridge if you're interested in watching some GTA 5 role play. I'm a deputy sheriff.
I can see that.
Everybody's a deputy
I can
sheriff
see
in
that.
GTA roleplay.
I can see that. I can see you playing a deputy sheriff with like 3 teeth. Is that
Yeah, boy, we gonna get and catch him back again.
Jason?
Yeehaw. Find me on Twitter at Winter Informal, streaming at twitch.tv/JasonWinter.
I feel like Jason would be the sheriff that would just be like grumpy and ignore you. Just so angry that you've been his deputy for 30 years.
You watch Stranger Things?
Yes. Oh,
You ever
absolutely.
seen that? I actually bought the Stranger Thing coffee mug that says mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Nice. I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me personally on Twitter right there, magicman1. But more importantly, follow at MMOBomb so we can tweet at you all the latest news, articles, giveaways, first look videos, and so much more. Until next week, gang, stay safe. We'll see you on the servers.